What's up, people? Alright, it's focused. So, quick shout out, bodybuilder.com. I had ordered some stuff the other day, and they sent my stuff a free shaker, protein bar, and something else. I forgot what it was. But, good looking out. Cheers. And you wanted to know what that noise is. This is Caesar, king of the house. Say hi. Folk. Alright, cool. And just like me, he loves to play football. Alright, so the sound right now sounds awful. I'm not gonna lie. Rode, boomstick, shotgun mic, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I forgot to put it on. Alright, as always, good morning. Hope everybody's having a great morning thus far. Today, we're going to speak about Cuba. First and foremost, I just want to say sorry. I want to apologize to everyone who's been asking me about Cuba, and I haven't really had the opportunity to get back with a lot of people. I was supposed to put the video out, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, but while transferring my SD card to my computer, everything erased. So, yeah. I was going through a midlife crisis at the time, so I've been trying to get everything back on that SD card. My videos, I got some of the photos back, and yeah, everything else is pretty much still on there, but I have no clue how to get it off there. If anybody knows how to get it off there, I have the SanDisk, the reboot or re-something, and I tried that. I ran that a few times, and I was able to see everything on there. It just comes up as like a big gray box with the time frames and the lengths of the videos on there. So I know it's still on there, I just have no clue how to get it off there. But if anybody knows how to get it on there, please comment below, let me know how to get it off there, and I'm greatly appreciative if anybody can help me with that. So this video is specifically to let everybody know everything that I did, or me and my fiance did, to prepare for Cuba, what we did while we were in Cuba, and basically all the sites and everything that we saw and how to manage your money properly. Alright, so number one, plan your trip out. These are one of the things you have to plan out. The resources over there are limited, very limited, and everything you need to have, you have to have available before you go over there. With that being said, first thing that we did, we saw a flight on Southwest.com. We usually travel with them. We are frequent flyers with them. Shout out to Southwest. So we saw a cheap flight. I think it was about I want to say it was about $180 to fly round trip around the time that we saw it, so we went ahead and booked. Once we booked that, we did a little research. We found out that you had to have a visa and a health card in order to go over there. So we contacted Southwest. Southwest told us that we can basically do everything online. Everything was kind of quick and easy. We applied for it. We paid for it online as well, and then once we got to the airport, they just issued a visa card and your health card at the Southwest counter or whatever airline. You can go ahead of time, get the visa and everything, but we got ours the same day of our flight. It would have been a lot easier, more convenient for us. Now, with that being said, it is $50 to get your visa and your health card. And I'm going to say this slowly and clear. When you fill out the visa, make sure you fill it out as legible, clear, and without error as possible. If there's any error or they can't read it or whatever the case may be, they're going to go ahead and rip that up. They're going to hand you the visa. It's got a few questions on there. I think it asks you for your name, your address, a few other things. I forgot what it was. But if you make any error on that card, they're gonna make you basically start over. They're gonna rip another $50 in order to get that. And I just want to save y'all some time and some money, because yeah, nobody wants to spend extra money if they don't have to. Next, number two, packing. Pack light. Simple as that. Pack light. It's Cuba. Like, I mean, everything in Cuba is kind of walking. You really have to walk a lot unless you take some of the unique cars, which we'll talk about later. But pack light. My mistake was packing unnecessary stuff that I knew I didn't need, but I always overpack. So what Lisa did, she was smart. She got a big like carry-on bag. She put everything in there. She carried it on the plane. Me, I packed it in a duffel bag, and I didn't want to walk around the airport with the bag, so I went ahead and checked it. And it was one of the dumbest things that I've ever done. Checked the bag. We got off. We got through customs. Through customs, all you have to do is show them your visa, your passport, a few other things. They take a picture of you. You go through a little door. Boom. There goes the conveyor belts. So when we got to the conveyor belts, I saw everything. There was a lot of like plastic wrapped around people's luggage, and I didn't know what the hell that was. Spoke to one of the locals, and they said it's basically so nobody takes your stuff. So I'm over here like, damn, I hope ain't nobody take my stuff. My duffel bag tore like in the process of actually getting the bag on the conveyor belt in Southwest. So I was a little worried about that initially, but everything went well. There's no reason to go out there to look cute. Pack your comfortable pants, your comfortable shirts, your sneakers, whatever you gotta pack that's comfortable, pack them. And I say pack your comfortable sneakers, your shoes, or whatever the case may be. The roads are cobblestone. For the most part, they're cobblestone roads. So if you've never actually walked on cobblestone, it's not really the best for your legs, your calves, your back, anything. So you want to pack your comfortable shoes because you will be walking a lot. And your feet will hurt. My feet were hurting. Like when I say we walked around for a good like 2 or 3 hours and my feet were hurting. I had packed a pair of boots. I think they were, I packed a pair of auto boots. Trying to be, a little hikey and trying to, get some good pictures. My feet were killing me. I'm not going to say it a lot. My feet were killing me. So pack your lightweight stuff, your jeans, shorts, whatever the case may be, t-shirt. You don't have to go out there to be all fashionable and have a fashion statement. You can pack a nice little shirt, get some good pictures wherever you go. Everything, scenery is beautiful out there. Alright, so this brings me to my next point. Number 3, money. I know a lot of people think that they probably can go out there with a little bit of money and ball out. It's very true. I'm not going to say here and lie. So, American credit cards, debit cards, depending on where you're at in Cuba, it doesn't work. We honestly didn't find anything out there in which you can use your debit card in order to make transactions or to get money out of the bank, whatever the case may be. So we went to our local exchange in the mall, the International Mall here in Tampa, and we got euros. Ball out. I want my homeboy, he got Mexican pesos, and I got about $475, and I think he got a little less than I did, but I think it still worked out for him. So what I mean by this, the 4 days that we went, we did a lot of things, but that 475 euros, it lasted the entire time we were there. We had to budget out a few things, but it was still cool. It was a great trip after all. So once you get over to Cuba, what you want to do is find your local bank. What we did, we stayed in La Casa, and right down the street there was a bank that we were referred to. So we walked down the street to the bank. We waited in a little line. The guy, he like directed us to where we had to sit. We sat there, and he just pointed to us, and we had to walk up to the counter. It was one of the funniest things ever. So when we walk over to the counter, they asked us what we wanted. Cuba has 2 different currencies, CUP, CUC. CUP is for us, people that are traveling to Cuba. We need the CUP. CUCs are for the locals. You honestly don't need the CUCs unless you end up in the wrong area, as we did at one point. Mentioned before, we stayed for 4 days between the two of us. We just brought $500. $500 for us. So that was $500, not $500 a piece. We brought $500, and it was more than enough money that we needed for food, traveling in the taxi, doing the tour bus, everything in regards to that. So it was perfect. $500 is all you need in order to go to Cuba, in my opinion, depending on what you plan on doing, that is. Next, planning a place to stay. me and Lisa, we use Airbnb. We used to go hotels a lot, but Airbnb seems to be the home away from home, which it is. And we usually find a lot of good spots. So we wanted to do this time, we wanted to stay where the locals stayed. So we found a La Casa, which is somebody's home basically. And they either can stay there in another room or they own the building, in which this case, they own the building and they just rented out the rooms in there. So we found a La Casa basically in the heart of Havana. And it was right across the street from a ferry. Oh, man.
So after a long good night of sleep, sometimes I just like to step out onto the balcony and enjoy the view. Cuba's definitely a country that doesn't sleep, but what I did.
So that was all cool and everything. And the first couple nights we stayed there was nobody else in there. And then I think it was the last night or the night before that, that's when more guests started coming in. So the great thing about the La Casa is in some of the La Casas, you have the ability to pay, I want to say about 5 CUP. I think that's what she charges, 5 CUP for them to make you breakfast every morning. Breakfast there is very different. They make something different every single day. One day we had, I forgot what we had. She made some type of breakfast pizza. And then I told her that I don't eat pork, I don't eat fish, and she kind of was limited to everything that she could make. But she made a few things. She made tuna actually one day, and I tried it. It was great. It was like a casserole. It was tuna, green beans were in it, corn was in it, onion. It was a casserole, and then you ate it in like a little pancake crepe. And it was great, actually. I enjoyed it a lot. And everything they eat with, they have a side of bread, a side of fruit. They have different type of fruit I never had before. I tried it. It was amazing. And coffee. The coffee is very, very strong. Just like the mojitos. Everything they have in Cuba, basically, is very strong. So make sure you try. There's a good chance that you possibly could get lost in a very local area. So like I stated before, we were staying across the street from a ferry port, and the ferry port took you in 2 directions. You could either go right or you can go left. 2 directions. We decided to hop on a ferry without getting any direction, reading anything, and we went right. So right was the wrong way to go. We ended up in a very local town, but once we got off of there, we saw other people going there, so we was like, all right, cool, I mean, we're gonna go in the same direction as them. As soon as you got off the little ferry dock, there was a church, a big church, and it gave you a lot of history. It was great to go in there. The females had to garb up. They made Lisa garb up. She wrapped up in a little cloth. We walked around, saw a lot of different things on there. Did that for about 20 minutes. Then we came back out. There was a lot of people trying to sell stuff out there. So we just kept walking, took a couple pictures. We kept walking, and then we started seeing nothing. We were over there trying to find the Christ statue that they have over there, but we didn't see anything. We kept seeing locals. We were asking for help. Nobody understood anything we did. Luckily, we saw a group that was on the ferry with us. We asked them, hey, did you guys see the statue? They said no. So they turned around, we turned around, got back on the ferry. Headed back to the port, went the other direction. So once we got to the other direction, then we saw the statue. When I say wear comfortable shoes, this is where that comes into play. There is a big ass hill that we had to walk up. And when I say I was tired, sweaty, everything, my shirt was drenched, it was a big ass hill. So we walked up this big hill and we got to the top where the statue was. We took a lot of pictures. It was a beautiful view of the city. You could see everything, different ports, different sides. It was everything over there. There was also taxis over there. We decided to go back down, hop back on the ferry. Alright, so on the next point, I lost count. I'm not sure what, yeah, it's up there. So, transportation. There are many different transportations in Cuba. You could take the very I guess, basic taxi. They have yellow cabs over there. You take that taxi. They have horse and buggy, horse and carriage, whatever you want to call it. They have that. They have, I guess, man and buggy or man and carriage, where the man basically does the job of the horse. And then they have the very unique style cars. I love those cars. We took the car twice. The first time we took it, we were walking out of the Floridium. That's where you can get the daiquiris. I think it's the daiquiris. Yeah, it was the daiquiris. You can get amazing daiquiris, one of the most famous places over there. And we were walking out of there, it started pouring down raining. So we tried to negotiate with the cab driver. He told us 10 CUP. We said 8. He said, nah. I said, all right, forget it. We got in there for 8 CUP. That's how we do. Alright, so that was very novice of me. Forgot to charge my battery, it died. So the second time we took the cab, the unique style cab. It was one of old fashioned, I want to say 50, 60, it all depends on the cab. We took that around for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. It only cost us 40 CUP. He took us everywhere. But it was extremely dope to drive around in a drop top, old fashioned drop top. They let us take a lot of pictures in the cars too, so that was a good thing. Also, when getting out the vehicle, make sure you do not slam the doors. I accidentally slammed the door. The door was like extremely light, so I accidentally slammed the door. You saw his face crunch up. I apologized, but yeah, the doors are light. Try not to slam the doors. If you can, let them close the doors. They'll open the doors, close them for you. Alright, so that's it for this video. I want to thank everybody for sitting here, taking the time to listen. Once again, I apologize for not being able to put this video out sooner and not having my compilation video either. Once I figure out how to get everything off that SD card, I'm going to go ahead and put that together and show everybody for that, for them to see that. But if you do have any questions, anything, feel free to leave a comment below. I'm going to go ahead and put a list of places that we went to, and I'm willing to answer any questions. So hit me up below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the page if you can. And y'all have a beautiful day. Catch y'all next time.